everyone, it's Fiona from Lavender Blue. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be starting a new journal, and I'm going to be doing the cover a little bit different to what I've done before, and it's going to be a hard cover with a soft spine. So a soft spine journal. I've seen quite a few people doing this, and I was recently inspired by Barbara from 49 Dragonflies. She was doing a soft spine journal, but she did hers a little bit differently to how I'm going to do mine. She actually sewed hers on down here with little holes and some thread, but I'm going to do something a little bit different, I think. Now, if you're wondering what I mean, like by a soft spine, I've just got some examples here of different spines. So basically you can get your hardcover journal like this one. This is my sort of journal that I started, where I was going to do, you know, like a lot of examples in here of different things that we've made, and it's sort of gone by the wayside, but I'm still going to be working in this journal occasionally. But yeah, so this one has a hard cover, so it's hard front and back, and it's also got a hard spine. And I believe this was an old book cover, and then I've reconstructed the spine. So that's all a hard spine or hard bound journal. And now this little one here, it's a little mini one, but it does have 3 signatures, but it is all soft. It's a soft cover, like just made with cardstock. Some thin cardstock. It's a soft cover, and the spine is also soft. So it's not a hard, it doesn't have a hard spine either. So that's that little example. And this one here is another example of just soft, just the, you know, the journal with 1 signature, and it just has a soft spine also. So this one will have the hard cover. I'm using an old book. This was a vintage French English dictionary, and it's quite small, so my journal's not going to be a large one. And so I've covered the front and back cover just with fabric at this stage, just with some fabric that I've tea dyed. And then for the spine, I'm using this paper here that a couple of videos I got ago, and I will link that video in the description box. I showed you how to grunge paper, how to make it look grungy and leathery. So this is the process that I did in that video, and I decided that I would use this for my spine because it's nice and sturdy, and then I've covered it with fabric. And once you cover this with fabric, it really does take on a leather sort of a consistency. So that's what I thought I'd use. Now I just want to quickly show you which kit I'm using, or which kits I'm using, because I'm using a couple of different ones. So one of them is mine, and one of them is from Melissa. Melissa Barnes she's a joint admin with me on my Facebook group. And so she sent me a couple of her kits as well. And one of them I'm going to use in this journal. We'll be making another one down the track. But this one I'm using because the kit that I'm using of mine is Vintage Rose Garden. And it's all garden and floral, you know, roses. It sort of ties in with her kit. So this is the one that's mine, Vintage Rose Garden. I'll link it below. But now with mine, I have resized mine down to half the size. So I printed 2 pages to a page like this, so that I could have a smaller journal, some smaller pages. And also some of my prints didn't work out because my printer was playing up at the time. So some of my pages have kind of got lines through them. I don't know if you can maybe see the ones here. My printer had problems at the time. And so I might just, you know, be able to deal with that and cover with some ink or stamping or other things. But some of them I might just leave out. And I've also printed all of these on the back with, this is, I believe it might be my coffee and lace papers. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, but if I remember, I'll put the link below. I've got some coffee dyed sort of paper with lace backgrounds. And they're fairly dark. I sort of wanted it to be a little bit grungy, so they're dark. And then I've shrunk down all the ephemera as well, so it's all pretty small. We've got teeny tiny cards and envelopes and things like that. And then I've still got this page to cut out, but you can see it hasn't printed properly. But I didn't want to waste it, so I thought, you know, there still might be a way that I can incorporate it. So that's the Vintage Rose Garden kit. So I'm going to use that. And oops, running out of room. And then I have this other kit, which is actually called My Lady's Garden from Melissa. I believe she might have done it in collaboration with somebody else. But this is the kit, and I'll put the link to her shop below. So it's My Lady's Garden, and it's got these beautiful papers, which are very similar sort of style, like garden themed. So I thought I'd try and incorporate this as well. Some paper there and some pockets. And then some envelopes and tags, another pocket. And then we've got some larger tags here. And her shop is called Studio Mab Vintage Journal Emporium. But I will link it below so you can just click through to it. Some more pockets. I think I printed them small and then I printed them large because these are larger versions. And then a couple more pages there. And that one there. They're gorgeous. I love that lace and I love that blue there. So that's the general kits that I'm going to use, obviously, of course, as well as other pages and things that I'm going to put in. But today, I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do the cover today. And then in another video, we'll get on to signatures. So now I'm just trying to decide because as usual I can't make up my mind because I wanted maybe these inside, sort of inside. This is another grunge one that we did. This was the paper bag. But I would probably glue it together if I use it, and then because I was thinking about having these inside, I'm just contemplating whether I want this whether I want my spine to have the spine like this with that on the outside, or whether I want to put the fabric on the outside. Because to be honest, I actually prefer the look of the fabric on the outside. And I thought if I wanted to bring in some of this, I could always make a little journaling card as a bit of a feature on the front or something. So I haven't quite decided, but we'll just see how this looks, just for starters. Okay, so now I've got that one upside down. So I think, yeah, that goes like that. So what I'm going to do first though, before I start, is I'm going to sew all the way around the edge on this one, just to make sure it doesn't fray. And because you will see the top and bottom, it will just look nicer if we've got some neat stitching around the edges. So I'm just going to go to my sewing machine and stitch all the way around the edge of this one. Okay, so I'm back and I've sewn all the way around my spine. Okay, so now I have cut my spine the exact same height as the front and back cover. So now I just want to decide on the width, and I'm thinking with mine I want to have 3 signatures. So excuse me. sorry. I think I want it to be 1, 2, 3, just 2 inches wide. And then I'll just have 1, 2, 3 signatures. So I need to take, not take off, but I need to just mark here and here, so I know where I want to attach the pages. Like that. And then I've got my 2 inches. So I'm going to get my, just move that over a little bit. So I'm using the lines on my cutting mat to do this. I'll get my pencil and I probably need to do this on the inside, but I might just make a little mark here and here. So that I know that from here to here is going to be underneath the cover. So how I want to join mine is I'm going to put some eyelets in. Now, I obviously want to make sure that the eyelets are in the same place on the cover as they are on this piece. So I'm going to make some marks. And now I'm just deciding whether I want 3 eyelets or 5 eyelets, because I'm going to thread some ribbon through and then tie it. I'll be gluing it as well, so it will be pretty stable. It won't sort of be the ribbon just holding it in place. So I think I'm just going to do 3. Yeah, I'm just going to do 3 holes, and then I'm going to thread the ribbon through. So that's 18 centimeters there. So I'll just make a mark at 9. And you know, with pencil you can usually rub it off. It should be fine. You won't see it anyway. And then top and bottom, just eyeballing, making them about, what's that, maybe a centimetre? Centimetre and a half or 3/4 of an inch in from either end. Just eyeballing, but making sure they are both the same. So there we go, about there. So I'm keeping in mind the distance between here and here to make sure I'm well within that line. I could go in a little bit more. I'm only going in about 1/4 of an inch. And now all I'm going to do is get the other one and do the other side, trying to make them roughly the same. So I can put this one here as a guide. And then I can just follow these lines. There and there. Okay. Oh, that way. That's it. So now I've got my little crocodile here, so I can put some eyelets in. And I haven't actually tested to see if it's going to go through this cover yet with the fabric on it. So yeah, I'm just hoping that it will go through. If not, I'll probably have to find another solution. So I'm going to use the largest hole, I think, which is, I'm not sure what it, it's 3/16 of an inch. Is that right? Yeah, this one's 1/8 of an inch and this one's 1/16. So I'll use that one because I think that's the size of eyelets that I've got. But I'm going to need 6, so I just need to see if I've got enough of the rusty ones or not. If not, I'll have to use my silver ones because that's all I've got. 1, 2... Actually, no, I have got some other ones. Let's put that back. Okay, so right. Now let's see if this is going to go through my book cover. So I'm coming in just about 1/4 of an inch. And let's see. There. And yep, that's done a good job. I'll probably need to get that out. Why is it when you want to find your tools, you can't find them? I've got a container here on my desk with all of them in, but you know, sometimes when you use them and you don't put them back where they're supposed to be, and then you can't find them. I'm just looking for my little awl, my little pokey tool, so I can get that out of there. There it is. So get that out. So I can go on to the next one. Two, three, I can get it in the right spot. You probably don't need to see me fiddling around trying to punch holes. I might speed this part up or cut it out altogether. So there, that's that side. Yep, let's do this side. Now the problem I'm probably going to have is with putting my brads in, because, not brads, I always get brads and eyelets mixed up. Eyelets in, because I'm unsure of the settings on my crocodile because I've lost the instructions that came with it. But that's going to have to be trial and error whether I've got it on the right setting or not. That's that bit. Now let's do these. Now they should line up because we've measured it. Okay, if I put this, oh, I was forgetting about the, oh, I've made a boo-boo, guys. I have to, I was forgetting about, I have to place them, you know, so that this is on this, the lines that I measured. So I've got a 2-inch spine. So it's okay, I can fix that just by making another mark through the holes. Yep, that's what I should have done. Punch the holes in your cover first and then make your little marks so you know you've got them in the right spot. So now where's my pencil? It's a different one, I think. So I'll just make these little holes. It won't matter because the rest of it will be glued down. You won't see it, and then it will be covered on the inside with my inside cover. Okay, so yeah, they've got to move over. Let's do this side. Sorry about that, guys. Just hopefully you weren't following me in real time because because I made a boo-boo. Okay, so up to the line. It's the first time I've done it, I guess, so I didn't really test it out before I came on to do this. But I like the look of the soft spine, so yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. So alright, let's do this again. Sometimes I've got to cut the extra fabric off because it doesn't want to come off. And there you go. And I have to say thank you to Nicole if you're watching. Nicole, years ago, she bought me my crocodile and sent it to me because, yeah, she knew that at the time I didn't have one. I couldn't actually afford one at the time, and I was struggling with some other tool. I was struggling with my putting my eyelets in, and so thank you so much, Nicole. It's been really, really helpful. That one, because if you don't have one of these, a crocodile, there is another little tool that you can use. It just looks a little bit like a single paper punch, but it's an eyelet setter, and they do work, but I think the crocodile just does a bit of a better job, and you can punch the holes with the crocodile as well in the correct size. So yeah, okay, so let's get rid of that mess a little bit. And actually I'm just gonna adjust my chair. I'm kind of sitting a bit low. Oh, that's better. It's better. I just adjusted my chair up a bit. I felt like I could hardly see over the top of my table. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue down, and then, you know, set them on top of one another where the holes line up. And then I should be able to insert my eyelets all the way through. That is the plan. So let's get my tacky glue. And I've taken that out, that the needle, the little needle point, because I know someone said to me to put a, what do you call those push pins in, but these tips are extremely fine, and I tried, and the push pin, you know, the pin with the little round end on it, doesn't even actually fit into these ones because they are so tiny. But it'll probably go into here. But anyway, yeah, that was after yesterday's video when I was having a bit of struggle with the tacky glue. All good. So put some glue down like this. Try not to get it in the holes. And then down like this. And I might just put one long strip along the very edge of the covers to make sure they stick down nicely on the edges. Now if you've got Fabri-Tac, you know, or a proper fabric glue, you'd want to use that one. But I find for me the tacky glue does the trick, so I haven't, you know, invested in any particular fabric glue or art glitter glue at the moment. Okay, so let's put this down. Oh, that was good, wasn't it? I just stuck it to the oh geez, you guys. Let's put some more glue on there, never mind, and I'll wipe that off. Wipe that off, just clean it up, no big deal. Bit messy today. And as you can hear, I've still got my head cold. I really don't know what's going on there. As I said, I've just got over COVID, but I had it like 2 weeks ago, so over 2 weeks. Anyway, which way are we going? So this is the front cover. I can tell by the pattern on the fabric if I've got it the right way up. So this is going on top where I've put those lines, so I know I've got a 2-inch spine, and then I'm lining up my holes. So just lining up my holes, and I'll put this one on at the same time. Here we go. Oh, I just realised I forgot. How am I going to get my eyelets in here? Oh, sorry guys, what a great video. I'm not going to cut this out though. I'm going to keep this in because I think we all come up with these sorts of problems sometimes. So it's good for you to see that I made a mistake, another mistake, and to see how I'm going to get around it. So right now, if I had what's called a big bite, which is basically a big one of these, it has an arm long enough that I could reach to here to set the eyelets. You know, like this one's not going to reach up there. It will come in on these edges, but it won't reach these ones. So, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do at this stage, but I might have to leave those holes without the eyelets, which is okay. They won't, they will be fine, but I just prefer the look of the eyelets. So, but I'm just thinking, what would I have done anyway? Because I have to glue this on. So, but I probably could have set those eyelets maybe before I glued it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's put these eyelets in and I'll go from there. Because I probably don't need the third hole when all's said and done. Well, I probably don't need the eyelets anyway. Okay, so let's put 4 eyelets in. And that's, you know, starting to dry, so it should be fine. So I'm just going to put this in. And I just want to make sure I've got the right setting because I'm not 100% sure. I think this is a taller one, so it should be okay. I'll put this into here. And then I should be able to set it like that. Let's have a look. It hasn't quite come through. Let's do it again. Yep, that's in there pretty tight, so that should be fine. Let's put another one. Making sure I'm going through both layers. They're probably not quite tall enough, they're only just tall enough. So make sure your eyelets is, you know, side on here. Make sure that this bit is long enough to go through. So these are just tall enough. And what's happening there? That doesn't look right. Just get that right there. There we go. 2. Cut this off. Three. And now you might want to let your glue dry a little bit longer, but I'm just doing the video, so I'm kind of rushing it a little bit. But it's not coming off, it's not going anywhere. Okay, so we've done that. I'm just going to poke through a little bit more here. And now I think I'm going to have to leave these ones without eyelets, okay? But obviously, if you have a big bite, you'll be able to get your eyelets in the center there. Okay. So this is basically how the cover's going to look. And you'll have your signatures. You've got this nice soft spine that needs to dry a bit more. And you'll have your signatures sewn in to the, your soft spine here. But now, just for a bit of decoration, what I'm going to do now is thread some ribbon through these holes. So you could use string or anything you want to. What I've got is this. This is an old scarf, so it's like silk, and I've sort of ripped it into fabric strips. I just want to see if I've got one long enough here for maybe I could thread through twice in that colour. Or let's see, because I thought about just putting it through and then tying a little knot or bow on the outside. So say if we're doing a bit of a pamphlet stitch, you'd need 3 times the height. So I'm going to do 3 times the height and a little bit more to make sure I've got enough. And then I'm going to cut another piece the same. Oh, Oh, and they're basically the same anyway. Oh, let's get those bits off. Okay, so now, do I need a needle or do I not need a needle? Cut this off for a start. Thinking if I just twist the end, I could probably do this. Now I'm going in through from the outside, not from the inside. So normally when we do our signatures, we start off from the inside so that we tie them inside at the end. But I'm starting on the outside because I want to tie these bows on the outside at the end. So I'm going to go down through the middle first. And then you can either go up to the top or down to the bottom. I think I'm doing this right. We shall see. Down to the bottom. Yeah. I may need to use my needle when I come to the end bit. Down to the bottom. And now I'm going to go all the way back up to the top here. All the way back up to the top. And then I just need to come back through the middle again. So this is where I'm saying I may need something to help me get this through. I might be able to just poke it through. Let's get the little pokey tool again. Try not to rip it and just put it back through this hole. And there it is. So you can just pull it back through. So now I just want to pull it tight and try and get these as even as possible. So need to pull this one back through a little bit more. That's the right one. Yep, there we go. And you just put one on one side, just like when you do your signatures, one on one side and one on the other side. And I'm going to try a little decorative bow. Just like that. And so the front of my journal is going to look like this. I think that looks really sweet. So now all I need to do is do the same thing on the back. See, we didn't really need the eyelet. It'll be fine. It's just really for looks. It's kind of going to be covered up anyway. So we're going in from the outside. I wonder if the other end's a bit better. How long have I been filming? About 45 minutes. Okay, so I'm going in from the outside. Just leave that little end there. I'm coming down to the bottom. needs to be a bit more pointier. And you can of course do that trick of getting a lighter, lighting the end to make it so the end isn't frayed. Get up with this. Got it. Back all the way through the top and then back up through the middle. And there. Tight and back up through the center. Oops, must be pulling the wrong bit. This bit, there we go. One under there. Try and get them a bit more even. Oops, must be the wrong one. I'm pulling. There we go. Now I'll tie a knot in this one. And that is my soft spine. There you go. I think that looks really cute. Of course you could dangle things off here. You can, you know, I'll be decorating up the cover a lot more and the inside cover. So when we come back, I will be, you know, the next time I work on this, I will, in the next video, I'll do my signatures and show you sewing them in, and we'll decorate the cover up a little bit more. But that is how to do a hardcover journal with a soft spine. Okay, so thanks very much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye bye.